Hey guys, it's Perry. Today I'm going to talk about when to farm your camps and when to join team fights. This is mainly a mid-game focused idea and concept that I'm really talking about. We're going to first go through the thought process, and then we're going to go through something more practical for what you can do in every single game. So let's jump right into it and just talk about the thought process of what it's like to decide between whether you're going to be ganking or fighting and whether you're going to be farming. So first things first, I want to show you guys just the thought process. So right now we can either farm our camps or we can fight. Okay, you always have these two options. Okay, you can farm or you can fight. And you're always going to be here at a crossroad of do I farm or do I fight? And here's the thing. What a lot of people do is a lot of people who are stuck in I don't know whether I want to fight or I don't know if I want to farm. They're stuck between what choice to make. And what often ends up happening is they will default to farming. Because majority of what I even talk about, or majority of what people hear, is you need to farm first. And there's a strong emphasis on farming. So I would say around 80% of the time, people lean towards this path. They lean heavily towards this path. And they miss out on the fighting opportunities. And the reason why you're actually missing out on fighting opportunities isn't because you chose to farm. It's because a lot of the time people don't commit to farming. What they'll do is let's say you're supposed to farm your Grump and then your Wolves and then your Raptors as well. That was your plan to farm. And the fight happens right when you start hitting the Grump. And you're like, "Oh shit." So I've chosen to start my Grump and I've chosen to try to do my Wolves and Raptors after, but because there's now a fight, I am unsure as to whether I should go farm or go fight. And what you tend to see, especially in lower elos, is instead of just committing to Grump, Wolves, Raptors, and figuring out the next play, figuring out the next team fight, figuring out the next sequence, they'll actually go do the Grump, hit it a bit, and then join the fight. Here's the thing. If you do this, you are too late to the fight, and you are too late to your camps. So now you have the worst of both worlds. Okay, not only did you not farm your camps, so you can't sequence to the next, fight, you can't properly have the right conditions for the next fight, and you're also so late to the fight that's like, you're going to lose the fight anyway. You're not there present in the fight. So, we all have the worst of both worlds when we play like this. Deciding whether you should farm or gank or fight, or we're gonna use fights, it really comes down to choosing one thing and doing the most you can with that choice and unlocking its true potential. So, if I'm choosing to farm, I need to go all the way here and I need to finish my farm. I need to finish all my camps or what I set out to do. And then afterwards, when I'm here, I will decide whether I'm going to go and recall, whether I'm going to go and do the dragon, whether I'm going to go and maybe there's an invade line here. There's a new position in the game that you have to figure out. But a lot of people never get to this position because instead, they just go here and they're like, "Oh my god, I need to join the fight." There's no fight anymore. Okay? And it's the same thing for joining fights. If you want to go and join the fight, you can't feel bad about the farm you're missing out. Go join the fight, go here, and then figure out what to do afterwards. Recall, Drake, invade, camps, doesn't matter. But you figure the next situation out. That's just the thought process, and that's the mentality that a lot of people fuck up on. It's a lot of commitment to the game that is super duper important. After you get to this position, it's the next 2 or 3 choices. You need to understand that, like, you learn less in League of Legends if you're doing 50-50 plays all the time, where I half-ass this play, I half-ass this play, I half-ass this play. You need to fully commit to whatever play you want to make happen. Let's dive a little bit into actual gameplay and when the game tells us whether we should fight or whether we should farm. So I'm going to show you guys real quick a tab screen in this game. And as you can see, there's 4 items here, there's 4 items here. Now I'm on the red side, I have 4 items. So pretty much League of Legends is all about getting resources for your items. What do items inherently do for you? Items give you stats, so you're stronger in fights. Ultimately, League of Legends is a fighting game, and you want to use any edge you can get. So having your flash, having your ultimate, having your HP, and having your items be up and stronger than the counterparts in the game so that you can win the fight. So there's a few conditions we're always trying to have ready for our fights. We're trying to have our flash, we're trying to have our ultimate, we're trying to have our HP/sums, and we're trying to have our gold spent. Okay, so these conditions you always need to keep track of. Write them down, always think about them, always consider these for your own character. Do I have my flash up? Do I have my ultimate up? Do I have my HP? And then do you have your gold spent? So do you have your items? Okay, I think another small one to like think about is like, so do you have your items completed? That's another really important one. So it's not just gold spent, it's completed items. So these conditions you need to track for yourself. So before you can join a fight, you need to make sure that like 3 out of 5 of these are fulfilled and you feel strong. Even if your teammates are fighting and you're weak, you don't join that fight because you're weak. You need to wait till your ulti is up. You need to wait until you have the gold spent. Even though it fucking sucks, you see your entire team fighting, it fucking blows. You can't join the fight and just ruin your game as well just because they are fighting. Okay? So that's step 1, track your own conditions. Step 2 is do this times 9. Okay? I'm not joking here. There are 9 players in this game. They all have the exact same conditions that you should keep track of. The reason why the league is difficult is because, well, now you're tracking 10 people's conditions in the game, so we call conditions, and it's hard to decide whether you should farm or whether you should make plays because you are tracking 9 other people's conditions. So let's say the entire enemy team, all of these 5 people, they don't have their ultimates and they don't have their flash. Okay, so they don't have these conditions. Maybe they have their gold, maybe they have HP and everything, but they do not have their flash or ulti. My instinct is immediately to go fight them. Just run at them and fight. Because let's say my team, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Holy shit, I missed 3, 4, 5. We all have our ult and flash, so we have them up and they don't have them up. So if we do and they don't, I want to fucking fight. I'm skipping all my camps and I'm forcing a fight. The reason why figuring this out is difficult for you guys is because how are you guys ever going to think about these things for yourself, let alone 9 other people in the game, if you are unable to pilot your own champion, if you're unable to understand the 800 different spells in the game? It's a tall ask, but it's what it takes to get good at a game. You have to be like hyper, like be autistic about the game. You need to like figure it all out. The periodic table has like 120 elements around that. You're literally like League of Legends has like 10 times that in terms of how much you have to remember and learn about. And the reason why like it's difficult is because League is a hard game like that. So now you guys sort of understand what you're keeping track of. Flash, ultimate, HP sums, or HP, gold spent, and item completion. Now, what you need to think about is, okay, I'm going to show you an example here. We just won a massive fight. Okay, so we go here, we fight, Aurora gets a kill, great. And what happens is, I'm very strong right now. I have all my items, I have my flash, I have my ultimate. So, okay, well, Perry, I'm going to be full HP here, and I have my items, I have everything. Well, why don't I just stay here, and why don't I try to fight something? Okay, it should be very obvious as to why I'm not, but I'm full HP, I have 4 items, I'm as strong as I possibly can be, right? If you are properly tracking your teammates, you will notice my MF is fucking top lane, super fed teammates, not even here, my entire team is recalling, and even though we are up 1 person because the Kai'Sa's dead, it's still not going to be a good fight because my entire team is recalling. Okay, so what I do is I go back and I farm my camps. I finally have an opportunity to farm camps. Awesome. And now, look at this. They're off the map here, and they're ready to play. So what I do is like, oh shit, I shouldn't be farming raptors here. I need to go join them in the fight. So I go join them, and my camps don't matter because I need to join the team. So if you're the person in the mid game, when you have many items, 3+ items, okay, keep that in mind, 3+ items, join fights. Do not do the raptors, do not do the Krugs, and go join and then you end up finding yourself in a really, really good position where, look at what happens here. My Aurora gets a good pick. I get a good pick here. We kill everyone. We wipe the board here, and then we end the game. Because I didn't go do my camps, and instead I looked for a positional advantage over the enemies, and we end up closing the game like that. So hopefully the thought process makes sense, guys, where you understand that in order for you to learn, you guys need to commit to whether you're farming or whether you're ganking. You need to commit to something, and you'll learn more. And then the second thing to consider is those 5 conditions at all times, and think about them for your teammates as well. If they all align, then go fight. If they don't align, then don't fight. Okay? And if your teammates int the game because they're taking fights when their conditions don't align, it is what it is at the end of the day. Like, it's completely fine if that happens. Okay? You should learn to play off good conditions rather than bad conditions and ruin the game. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this type of concept video. Did my best to just like explain it real quick. I want to talk about it. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe. You guys show your support to me, then I know to make more of this. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Take care.